I fumbled that ball, but picked up other balls. And believe me, they were some great. Hey everyone, welcome back to According to Carmen, and I am your girl Carmen. Today we're talking about being single. We're talking about dating, we're talking about what's out there, what's not out there, and how to kind of navigate the dating scene. A couple weeks ago, I had a conversation with a friend of mine. We were talking about what it's like to date, what it's like to kind of navigate the dating scene, and where we're finding people. Before you get started, no, it wasn't just a couple of girls kind of going off on how men are no good. It was actually myself and one of my guy friends talking about the dating scene. We started off by talking about what happened to the days of going to a house party, going to a barbecue, going to a friend's event where you could meet somebody at that event, where you kind of felt good because the people that were there were already vetted, the people that were there of a certain caliber, the people that were there were perhaps, within your same social circle, but maybe you haven't met them before. Those were the days. You pull up to the barbecue, everyone's looking good, everyone's smelling good, everyone is single and ready to mingle, and you get there and you look across the room and there's that guy, there's that girl that, you're kind of like, man, I'd like to talk to that person. I want to see what they're about. I'm interested in them, or maybe you're just physically attracted to them, whatever it might be. And so you get one of your friends to introduce you, or you get one of your friends to exchange numbers, or you get one of your friends to hook it up. And so, you go on that first date and already you have something to talk about, because you can talk about that barbecue, you can talk about that event that you went to, you can talk about your friends, you can talk about something that potentially you have in common. The key for any relationship, whether it's romantic or whether it's work related or whether it's from a family, is to have a commonality. And so that commonality is going to be that event that you both attended. It's going to be that barbecue. You can be talking about the food. You can talk about the people. Maybe somebody was sloppy and they were drunk or whatever they were doing. And so you have that common thing that the both of you can talk about on the date. And so that is probably the most difficult part about dating is, if you go on a date with somebody that you don't know, what is the commonality? What is that one thing that you guys can kind of kick off that conversation, start laughing, start enjoying yourself? You don't have to be nervous. You're kind of picking at your food. You're kind of giving each other glances. All of that is removed when, you meet through a commonality, you meet through a friend, you meet through a group of people that you know. It's an interesting thing as well. Has our social circles become smaller? So, we know everyone within our social circles, or when we're showing up to those events, do we know everyone? And so there isn't really anyone that you want to date because either you've dated them before or a friend of a friend of a friend has dated them. You know their history already. What is it that is preventing us from having those events and those get-togethers where we can start to kind of build relationships and find people that we want to link up with or connect with on whatever level. All I know is when things open up, I want my friends to be calling me. I want my family to be calling me, telling me that there's a barbecue, there's a get-together, there's an event, there's a wedding, there's a baby shower, whatever it is. And if you're single and ready to mingle, that's the place to be. I know you're not going to believe me, but if you go to Google right now and you search dating sites, you're going to get 1.36 billion hits. That's crazy. What are we writing about on the internet that would elicit and require 1.36 billion hits? Is it sites? Is it experiences? Is it relationships? What is it? Friends, tell me. Go in the comments. Let me know what's going on and why there's so many hits from a dating site perspective. While doing my research for this topic, I went online and I found this article where it listed 10 of the top websites, or 10 of the top dating websites, or dating apps, I guess, as well, that people can access to meet people. And so the great thing about this article was not only did it list the sites, but it also listed like what were those sites known for. So take a look and let me know. Let me know if you've got a different name for some of these sites. I know me and my girls, when we, back in the day, were looking at some of these dating sites, we had different names for them. I'm definitely aging myself because I would say 1/3 of the apps or the sites in this list I have actually never heard of. But if you've heard of them, if you've had success, or maybe you haven't had success, please let us know in the comments. The other thing is that when we look at these dating sites, a lot of them are catered to different groups, and often they're not catered to our people. They're not catered to Black women especially. So do your research, find out whether you're going to do a paid option or you're going to do a non-paid option. Take a look at what type of clientele they're trying to draw in. Take a look at their marketing. Do you see Black women? Do you see Black men on there? Take a look and see whether or not that dating site is going to allow you to get the type of person that you're looking for. I know you're probably wondering what has been my history with dating sites or dating apps. I tried OkCupid a couple of years ago, but honestly, I felt like the algorithm wasn't matching me with people that were compatible, people that were at the same stage in their life, people that were looking for the same thing as me. And I don't know, maybe it's the way I was answering the questions. Maybe it was the type of pictures I was putting up. Whatever it was, I just wasn't aligned with the people they were sending my way. The dates just weren't going well, or they went well, and a couple dates in, you're kind of like, what happened to the person that I first started talking to? But I also know that there are people who have had a lot of success with dating sites. There's people that have gone on, they've dated, they've married, they've had children, and they're living happy lives with people that they met on dating sites. And for those people, congratulations to you. But to those of us who are still kind of looking for, Mr. Right, Mrs. Right, whatever it is, or whoever it is, I wish you luck. Here's some of the other things I've been hearing from people who are accessing dating sites. The first thing is that people are lying on their profiles about basic things. They're lying about their age, they're lying about their height, they're lying about their weight, they're lying about what they look like. I don't understand why people would want to do that. I mean, I kind of understand. We live in an age where people, idolize that perfect body. They idolize, the big booty girls. They idolize the guys with abs and, things like that. But in an age where we're dealing with social media, where as soon as I have your name, as soon as I, have a little more information, I can go and search you, whether it be on Instagram or, whether it be on Facebook or Tinder or, whatever it might be. My thing is if you will lie about something so simple, what won't you lie about? And honestly, like, we know what we want, right? And so if I've indicated that the person that I'm looking for should be 5'11", they should be Black. My preference would be that they are from this island. My preference is that, they have a few extra pounds. Then don't try to sugarcoat things and try to create this character that you think people are looking for. The other thing that I want to talk about is be honest about what kind of relationship you're looking for. If you're in between relationships, if you just got out of a relationship and you are looking just for purely physical, purely sexual, then indicate that. Don't lie about that. It's very simple. There's a lot of people that are in the same position as you who are looking for that type of relationship. If you are currently in a non-monogamous relationship where you and your partner are okay to have other partners, then indicate that. But don't go into, a dating site and say, I'm single and I'm ready to mingle, whereas you are married with a family. Like, be honest and be transparent about what you're looking for. If you are someone who is looking to supplement your current income, then indicate that you are looking to supplement your income. You're looking for a sugar daddy, or you're looking for a sugar mama, somebody who's going to take care of you, take you out to dinner, buy you the newest shoes, all of that kind of stuff. Then indicate that on your profile. There are people who are out there looking to take care of people, looking to throw their money away and things like that. If that's what you're interested in, Make sure you're transparent upfront so that that type of person that you're looking for will find you. If you are an individual who your mind is not right, where you're in your mental health, your mental wellness is in a state where you need to seek help and you need to heal from previous relationships and previous hurt, don't enter into a relationship. Don't indicate that you're ready to start a relationship. Get yourself looked after first, get healthy, get ready to be in a relationship, and then hit those dating sites. So let me get this out of the way right quick. This goes out to the men and the women, the individuals that are in committed relationships that are hitting up these dating sites. Leave the single women and leave the single men alone, and vice versa to those men and women who are single, who are looking for individuals that are already in committed relationships. Leave those men and women, leave those people, leave those families alone. I'm not being judgmental. Look at Nick Cannon. He came out and said he's not prescribing to the traditional European, definition of a family. And so he's going to go out and pollinate and make babies and, all of that kind of stuff. Great for him. He has money. He's going to take care of his children. He's going to take care of those women, take care of those babies. And if he's not, well, social media and, the social media court will deal with him. I've heard it all. I've heard it makes life easy. There's no commitment required. Carmen, I don't have to cook and clean for him because he's got his wife at home. I've heard, there's no emotional attachment. I've heard he loves me. I am the number one priority in his life. He takes care of me. I've heard she makes me feel good. I can't detach myself from it. Again, I'm not judging you. If that's the life you choose to do, then do it, but play safe. That's all I'm going to ask. That's all I'm going to say is play it safe. Remember, you're playing with people's emotions. Remember, you're playing with people's lives. Remember, there's always three sides to a story. So perhaps he's telling you that, life isn't good. Eventually I'll leave her. Life isn't good. Eventually I'll leave him. Whatever it might be, just be careful. That's all I'm going to say. I'm not going to say anything else. That's it. So the next thing I'm going to talk about is playing out of your field. Growing up, my dad used to tell my sister and I that we were the top, that we were the best, that we were princesses, that we were royalty, that any man that decided to marry us was very fortunate, very lucky, and they were getting top class. Now, some of you are probably sitting there saying like, oh, your dad was boosting you, your dad was blowing up your head, all of that kind of stuff. And that's a whole nother discussion because I think as parents, we really need to, especially in this day and age, be realistic with our children, but also empower them and make sure they know how important they are, how great they are, and, what their value is. And that's exactly what my dad did. And for that, I am forever thankful. Now, saying all of that, did Carmen follow the rules that her dad set out for her? No, I didn't follow the rules. I fumbled the ball. Like, if I was playing football, they would have kicked me out the league. I fumbled the ball. The person I landed with was not what, I thought out for myself. It wasn't what my dad thought out for me. It didn't follow any of the rules and the directions that were established. But don't feel sorry for me. I'm okay because I look at everything as a life lesson. I fumbled that ball, but picked up other balls. And believe me, they were some great relationships. And I'm not angry. I'm not angry at all. And we kind of move on and we grow and we learn and we develop from every situation that we're in, whether it's, at work, whether it's personal. We grow and we develop and we learn. And the most important thing is don't make that mistake again. So now back to our regularly scheduled program. There's something to be said about playing within your field. Take a look at this situation. You have a woman. She is, she's doing okay for herself. She's in a good role. She's making enough money to survive. She's, she has her condo or a townhouse or a house, and she's doing well for herself. And then you have a guy that comes along and, she's super interested in him. He's making a lot of money. Like, he's bringing in the bag. He's flossing and, the designer clothes. He's got a nice car. When he goes out for dinner, he's dropping the bag, whatever it might be, right? But he knows that the type of woman he wants is someone who also is level to what he's doing. So, financially, she's making a lot of money, she's living the same kind of lifestyle. And if you're not that type of woman, don't go into that situation. I'm telling you, I'm saving you time right now, because in the long run, you are not what that man is looking for. You're not what he's looking for. He's looking for someone who is at the same level he is. Or potentially, he's looking for a woman that's going to be a nice piece of arm candy. I'm just saying what it is, right? So if you know that you do not meet the list of requirements that this individual is looking for, don't try to shift yourself, manipulate the situation to become what he's looking for. Okay? You have to be true to yourself. Be true to what you're able to deliver, and be true to what you're bringing to the table. Now, the same situation could be flipped. We have young women who are doing very well for themselves. They have their home, they have their car, maybe they're taking care of their kids, and they're living a really good life. And these men come into their lives and they have nothing to offer. Absolutely nothing to offer. They're coming in with their, their jogging pants and their sneaker collection, and, they have their mediocre job, and they're expecting you as a woman to be like, oh, thank God you came into my life to save me. Well, guess what? Very much like the situation I talked about before, do not settle. Do not do it. I'm telling you right now, if I can give you any advice, do not settle. All right? There is a theory behind playing in your field. All right? Now, don't get me wrong. There's going to be a number of situations that, I look at everything as an 80-20 rule, right? So 80% of the situations fit into this box, and then there's a 20%. You're going to come across situations where it might work, right? And some of that comes down to the individual just kind of having a humble upbringing. It comes down to the individual, being able to work with that other person. It comes down to, hey friends, here's a word, love, right? They genuinely love that person and they want to see them do well, and they want to be in a relationship and build a life and build a family and build success together. So don't get me wrong. I'm just giving you some advice based on my years of experience, and hopefully it works for you. Dating is not like when you apply for a job, right? When I'm coaching people on, getting ready to go for an interview, or when they're looking through, job postings, I often tell them, if you see a job and you have 50 to 70% of what the job is asking for, go ahead and apply for it. That is more than enough for you to go in and get that job and be able to prove yourself when you go into that job. Dating is not like a job interview. Dating is not like applying for a job, folks. Like, if you have 50% of what the person's looking for, go back, work on yourself, work on that other 20%, that other 30%, and then come back and try again. Dating is not like applying for a job. The next thing I want to talk about is situational confidence. Quite often, you walk into a scenario where, let's say you're at an event, you're at a restaurant, maybe you're on holidays, and all of a sudden you develop all of this confidence. Confidence to be able to talk to that guy across the room, confidence to be able to talk to that girl, and you're able to go up to them and be like, hey, listen, I think you're very attractive. I've been watching you from across the room. I would like to see what more there is about you. I would love to hear what you love to do. What are the things that make you tick? What are the things that excite you? Would you like to go out for dinner? Would you like to have a drink with me? And that situational confidence, boy, your head just grows. right? You feel like you're able to do anything. You feel like you're able to go out and, conquer the world. You feel like this person is the person for me. And listen, I'm going to tell you, like, again, a lot of people don't believe it, but I'm a huge introvert. And so that situational confidence, like when that hits, it's like you feel like the biggest person in the room. You feel like you can conquer everything. You feel like you can go and get the most attractive man who is versed in politics, who's versed in world history, who's versed in whatever interests you, and you can get them and land them and be able to be like, hey, I am the woman for you. And I encourage you to have situational confidence wherever you are. Don't let it just be restricted to when you're on holidays and you're in a country where no one knows you, or when you're at a restaurant that you don't normally go to. Have that confidence all the time that you are the total package, that you have a lot to bring, that you are somebody that another individual would be interested in getting to know and pursuing a relationship with. So, friends, let's talk about dating in your 20s. I haven't been 20 for a minute, but I had a chance to sit down and talk to some of my friends and some of my, people that I interact with on a regular basis about what it's like to date in certain ages. Or certain points in your life. So dating in your 20s. Dating in your 20s, I would say would have to be the most fun. Like, honestly, you meet a lot of people, that dating, the number of people that you have access to seems to be a lot more. You're really just kind of getting your feet wet in regards to like, what do I like? What don't I like from a person, from a relationship, from experiences. And so dating your 20s is fun. Obviously we're at the start of a pandemic. We're kind of dealing with not being able to, go out as much. In fact, in some cases, some places, depending where you are, you're completely locked down. So dating in your 20s, from what I hear, is a lot of it is connecting on dating sites, right? So they're going to those dating sites, they're going to the dating sites that encourage like younger people, and they're meeting a lot more people, right? So spoke to this young man where he said, listen, honestly, Carmen, like the number of people that I'm able to meet on a dating site far exceeds the number of people that, maybe if I'm liming with my boys, or, we're going to a party, or we're going to a restaurant or a sporting event, and I kind of see some of those girls. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Now it's like I have, access to girls that are, outside of my province. I have access to girls that are outside of my municipality, my city, whatever it is. And so, I have access to more people, and I can kind of start those conversations. And so dating in your 20s seems to be something that's interesting. It seems to be, this kind of new dynamic as a result of the pandemic, offering a number of different options. People are actually getting to talk, which, a lot of the times there isn't a lot of talk. It's, other things. So to those of you that are dating in your 20s, don't waste any time. Get out there, hop on those dating sites. Potentially the guy that you've been looking for, maybe he isn't in Toronto, maybe he's in London, maybe he isn't in Calgary, maybe he's in Edmonton, maybe he's not in Montreal, maybe he's in Ottawa, or whatever it might be. Dating in your 20s, get on there, get on those dating sites. Now, dating in your 30s and your 40s, I'm going to lump these two groups together. I know the ages are different enough that maybe they should be separate, but we're going to put them together. So dating in your 30s and your 40s. Whew. I'm telling you, it's a little more difficult, right? Because for the most part, we've been through the dating sites. We've taken a look at what's available. We are the generation that kind of, along with those dating in their 40s and 50s, grew up with going to parties and going to events and meeting people that way. So, because of everything that's going on with the pandemic, we don't have those events to go to. And as I kind of alluded to before, those events aren't, or the type of people you're meeting at those events aren't happening as naturally as they used to. We've done the dating sites. So, we go to the dating sites, we see the same guys, or we see different guys, and we're kind of like, how is this guy different? Or how is this girl different? Or this woman different than, the ones that I saw before. But the thing with dating in your 30s and 40s is you're still going to give it a try. you're still going to take a look and see, is there somebody that I missed? Is there somebody I didn't give a chance? Is there somebody that, potentially I could, start a relationship or start a conversation with? The other thing with dating in your 30s and 40s, once things open up, hopefully soon, dating in your 30s and 40s, you're a little more mobile. So, potentially you'd be willing to check out somebody in another country or, another province. And you have the means to do so. So that's the thing about dating in your 30s and 40s. The other thing about dating in your 30s and 40s is, you're a little more farther along in your career journey. And so, you're starting to figure yourself out a bit. You're starting to figure out, where your life is going to be. Potentially you're investing in property. You have that home that you enjoy spending time at. And so, you're a little bit in a different place in your life. And so, dating in your 30s and 40s is a little bit different, a little more complicated. But again, wishing you guys luck. Hit those comments. If there's other ways that you're meeting people during the pandemic, let me know, because your girl, my girls, the guys that are tuning in, we all want to know, where can we in our 30s and 40s meet people. Now, dating in your 50s and 60s, it's even more interesting, right? Because you are a little bit farther in your career. You're starting to think about retirement potentially. You're starting to think about, how can I make life more enjoyable? You're starting to think about, how can I find that person who's going to be my forever person? Maybe you've come out of a, marriage or a long-term relationship. And so you're trying to define and redefine, first of all, yourself, right? And redefine who you are and, what are the things that you enjoy? What are the type of people you enjoy? What is the type of relationship you're looking for? Are you looking for something a little more serious? Are you not? Because, you just exited a long-term relationship. And so dating in your 50s and 60s even becomes a little more complicated, right? It's finding those other individuals that are, at the same place as you. It's finding those individuals that have a commonality, things in common, things that you guys can talk about. Dating in your 50s and 60s, often, sometimes, never, maybe you're dating people that are a little bit younger than you, testing them out, seeing what it's like to, date somebody who's in their 40s and seeing, can you start a relationship? Often there's that attraction between those age groups, right? So, again, wishing my friends in their 50s and 60s success. We all deserve love. Ultimately, that's what we're all looking for, right? We deserve whatever love is, however you define love. We're all looking for that relationship that we can enjoy, whether it's, physical, mental, spiritual, sexual, whatever it is, we're all looking for that relationship that we can enjoy, that person that we can enjoy and spend time with. One little note I wanted to add in is for those of you that are dating with children. Now, you might fall into the 20s or 30s, 40s, 50s, whatever the case might be. If you have young children, one of the things that really just grinds my gears is, women or men who have children and they're constantly introducing that new person to their children. Friends, I get that your children are an important part of your life, but limit that interaction, okay? Until you've found somebody who that you're going to be committed to, or you feel like you're going to be committed to, try to avoid introducing your children to everyone you're dating. It makes them uncomfortable. They might not talk about it. They might not express it, but inside they're kind of like, who is this person daddy keeps bringing home to me? Who are these people that mommy keep introducing me to? We've all seen those movies where it's like uncle this and uncle that. It's not a good situation to bring your children into. So, figure out your dating situation. Make sure you have somebody responsible to watch your children when you're going out on dates. My advice to everyone, whether it's women or men or whoever it might be, is make sure when you're dating that your friends know if you're going out, they know where you're going, they know who you're going out with. The world is a funny place now. It's not as safe as it used to be, and I want all of you to be safe. I want all of you to enjoy your time. I want all of you to, find that forever love. And I want you, whatever it is you're doing, like if you're doing it for fun or you're doing it for love, have fun, enjoy yourself, and hope you enjoyed our chat. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you soon. Take care.